And welcome back to another Paul's Aquariums unboxing video. I am Paul, this is Paul's Aquariums, aquarium shop in Brisbane, Australia since 1999. I know, we have two awesome boxes of fish to unbox, some cool plants in this video somewhere, and all sorts of wonderful stuff. And if you usually watch my videos, feel free to click the like button-y thing. Do that now if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, it just is a hassle, so don't even worry if you're not subscribed, but that is much appreciated because apparently it helps the algorithm thingy. Anyway, first fish, and in this video, yes, we are in the video, in this video, there are a fair few fish that I kind of want to take home. So you can guess down below what fish I'd potentially take home. I may take them home, I may not take them home. I'm not going to take them all home, so there will be some for local customers, but check these out. Look at that. There are 2 bags of them. Look at their little red heads. Okay, these are red-capped swordtails, like a red caparanda, which is a goldfish, but not a goldfish. This is a swordtail, so a Mexican live-bearing fish called a swordtail because males have a sword on the tail and females don't. Why would they call them swordtails? They should just call the males swordtails and the females elongated platties or something like that. But we have really nice swordtails, and this is the first time I've seen these. Pretty awesome fish. So swordtail, obviously coming from Mexico, it is sort of a subtropical area where they come from. So they're going to survive anything from, like, say 16 degrees Celsius up to nearly 30 degrees Celsius. I can see males, I can see females, still can't see France, but there are some really awesome ones in there. They're going to max out around about that 8 to 10 centimeters, maybe a little bit longer with the tail, because the swordtail's tail, the swordtail's tail is quite long. So you can have a swordtail body that size, and then the tail is almost the same length as the body in some of them. Kind of crazy genetics, very awesome fish. They're going to give live birth to a good, say, 30 to 60 babies. Little tiny baby fish. And how cool are these? So if you want something a little bit different, tropical to subtropical, pH-wise 7 to 7.5. They like the water slightly alkaline. Awesome fish. Would I take some of these home? Who knows? Comment down below. Haha. Ooh, okay, we had these about a month ago. They sold out. These are awesome. Again, from Mexico. They're like a swordtail, but they're kind of a rounder bodied fish and don't have the tail, so the male swordtail, no. These kind of look like the female swordtails, but not as long. So these are platties. Again, they're subtropical, so they're going to survive anything from 10 degrees up to like nearly 30 degrees Celsius. pH-wise, about the same as your swordtails, so they're going to go anything from that 7 to 7.5, 7.6. Very tough, hardy fish. And these are the really cool blue platties that we had, I think it was like about a month ago, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. Awesome fish. You can keep these in community tanks, you can keep them in unheated aquariums inside. As long as it doesn't get freezing cold, they will do super well. And they've got like metallic greens and blues. Well, you can sort of see on the screen. Really nice fish. Platties and swordtails. What will be next? And we've jumped to South America. We have cardinal tetras. Okay, these are like a neon, but they have the red belly. Usually we have cardinals, we have neons, we have albino neons, we have green neons. There's a whole lot of different little tetras. Kind of look the same. These are South American, are tropical, so you want to keep the temperature anything from 24 to 28, 29 degrees Celsius for these. And they're a schooling fish. You want to keep a group of them, keep 5 or 6, and pH-wise anything from 6 to 7. Really pretty fish. They get a little bit bigger than a neon tetra, and they're a little bit brighter because they have more red on the belly, where the neons have a white belly and a red bit on their tail. These have a red belly and a red bit on their tail. Cardinal tetras. And these are another awesome tetra from South America. These would go really well with the cardinal tetras. pH-wise about the same, 6 to 7, and these are called white ornate tetras. Very pretty fish. They're going to get a little bit bigger, so about 20-cent piece size, Australian 20-cent piece size. So if you're watching overseas, I don't know, Australian 20-cent piece size. Really pretty fish, called a white ornate tetra because they have a white ornate tetra? No, fin. They have a white ornate fin on the actual tetra. Again, super peaceful. You want to keep a group of them. So keep about 5 or 6 and they will school quite happily. Very pretty fish, not overly nippy or anything like that, but they do get a decent sort of size compared to neons and cardinals and so on and so on. White fin ornates, lovely fish. Oh, they're so little. Okay, these are an Asian barb. These get very big. Oh, they're darting around a little bit crazy. So we'll just be a little bit quieter. So these will get a decent size, about that 12 to 15 centimeters. Awesome fish. You can keep them in bigger tanks with Oscars and Central American, South American cichlids if you want something to break up the aggression. Want to keep a group of them, so 5 or 6 or more. These are filament barbs, and they get a really nice long flowing dorsal fin, hence the name filament barb. They have a really nice translucent sort of greeny sheen, greens and blues and stuff to them as they mature. When they're small, they just have like the little black dot on them, but as they mature, they are really, really nice fish. So you can keep them with bigger sort of tetras. They will get quite big, so you don't want to keep them with things like neons or guppies or anything like that, but anything slightly bigger, they will be perfectly fine. Another nice big schooling fish. Haven't had them for a little while, but they are really, really cool fish. So pH-wise, 6.5 to 7.5, and temperature anything from 22 to 28 degrees Celsius, they will be fine. We have a bag of red cherry shrimp. Yay! So Neocaridina shrimp from China. I had to think about from China. They're actually bred in Australia, but they are originally from China. Very cool little red cherry shrimp. Don't try and keep them with fish because most fish will harass them. So they do better in their own tank. If you do keep them with fish, obviously they're going to be picked off randomly in the little babies. They're just no good at hiding, so they do a lot better on their own in a cool little shrimp tank. If you do keep them with fish, keep them with the smallest fish you possibly can. See how you go. But these will range anything in temperature from 10 degrees to about 26 degrees or so, and pH-wise anything from 6 degrees, a pH of 6 to a pH of about 7.5. As long as it's stable, they will be fine. They are in there somewhere. I'm seeing lots of black garbagey bag stuff for them to hold on to. Garbagey bag stuff? I'm sure that's black plastic. But there are cherry shrimp in there. And I'm pretty sure we still have lots of other different colors in store, but lots of red ones back in. We have a giant bag of neon tetras because I think we didn't get any neon tetras last week or the week before, so we did actually sell out. Kind of crazy. They are like the cardinal tetras you saw, but they have the white belly. So that is the difference between a neon and a cardinal. They're a different species. These will survive a little bit cooler, so they want their temperature between 20 degrees and about 26 degrees, where the cardinals like it a little bit warmer. pH-wise, anything from 6.5 to 7, they will be quite happy with. Schooling again, so keep 6 or more together. Look like a cardinal, don't get as big, so they maybe max out about that sort of 4 centimeters or so, where a cardinal's going to get a little tiny bit bigger. You can mix them all together in the right conditions, but a nice, peaceful little tropical fish. If you want something colorful, cheap, and nice, go for some neon tetras. So another Asian fish, we have a big bag of red-tailed sharks. Okay, now these are kind of interesting. They range in the water. They range in the water? No, they don't range in the water. They range in the wild. Different water quality depending on the dry season, the rainy season. So anything from like a pH of 6 to about 7.5. Long as it's stable, they're going to be okay. When they get bigger and they get around about that 10-12 centimeter sort of size, they are pretty territorial. So if you have more than one in a tank, they're probably going to harass each other. But jet black fish, bright red tail, look like a shark, but they're more of an algae eating cool type of catfishy type thing. Not that they're a catfish, but they spend all their time grazing, eating food, and chasing other fish away that look like them. So if you have them in with black mollies, or something that's black with a red tail, like a black platty with a red tail, because that's black with a red tail, they're going to harass them thinking they're another red tail shark. You can get away with a group of them while they're smaller, but as they mature, it gets worse and worse to keep them together, and you end up with just a scared one in a corner and a big, plump, happy one that's harassing everyone. But red tail sharks, again, awesome fish. Lots of awesome fish. Last bag in this box, we have blue rams. Oh, there are some nice blue rams. Okay, it's always good when we get nice ones. And I'm pretty sure there's 2 or 3 bags of them. So as you see on screen, lots of rams. I think last week we got gold rams and we got black rams. We still have some gold rams, still have some black rams, which is kind of bizarre. But now we have blue rams as well. And they're not just blue. These are ones that have a cool rainbow sort of color to them. So they have blue, they have purple, they have, well, you can see the colors starting to show on them. They're going to max out about 5-6 centimeters. Small, peaceful dwarf cichlid. A little bit more delicate to keep than some other fish because you want low mineral content and a low pH. So pH 6 to about 6.8. Warm temperature, so 25 to 30 degrees Celsius is sort of ideal range. And yeah, keep that pH below 7 and hardness low, which is your GH, and they will do really, really well. Lots of blue rams. You can keep a group, you can keep one, it's all up to you. Very cool little cichlids. If you want something that's like an Oscar but small and interacts with you, go a blue ram. They are pretty awesome little cichlids. And while we're halfway through the video, I thought I would show everyone this cool little terrarium bowl we got the other day. So I have uploaded a video on the setup of this, but how lovely is that? It comes with its own little light, and it has a cool little dew collection cuppy thing on the top. If you want to see a video on this, there'll be a link at the end of this video, and they are super, super cheap as well. So all the information is in that video, but I thought I'd just add that to this video. And while we're here, this little terrarium here, which has been set up and it's an absolute jungle now. This is now about 9 months old. I have not trimmed it. That's why you can't even see in there, but that is just such a low maintenance setup. It is absolutely amazing. I don't know which I like better, that one or that one. I'm thinking this one now because it is super, super cool. And if you are local, we just got a whole lot more terrarium plants in. Yes, I do not know why they call them bottle babies. Maybe because you keep them in bottles? That is just bizarre, but there is a whole lot of these. They have just turned up today. Awesome little plants. Anyway, back to the video. I thought I would just share how awesome this little bowl terrarium is looking. Yay! And we have some honey dwarf gourami. Yes, honey dwarf gouramis. We have not had honey dwarf gouramis for ages, it seems, and these are a peaceful little Asian gourami. Being a dwarf, they stay small, so about 4 to 5 centimeters at the max, and they're a honey yellow color. And I know every time I waffle on about what color honey is, it's a yellowy color. Sure it is. It depends on the honey, doesn't it? Or the bee's bum spit. It doesn't come out of their bum, it comes out of their spit. Bee spit, bee spit. Anyway, we have some lovely honey dwarf gouramis. So you can keep one, you can keep a group. They are small, peaceful fish. They don't like a lot of circulation in the tank. They want the temperature nice and warm, so 26 to 28 degrees on average. pH-wise, 6.5 to 6.8, so slightly acidic, and they will do really, really well. Lovely, peaceful little gouramis. They've got those cool little whiskery things underneath them. They spend most of the time on the surface or in the middle of the tank. Heavily planted tanks are perfect for them. They don't like big open areas. So make sure you got lots of heavily planted areas for them to hide in, and they will look absolutely lovely. Honey dwarf gouramis. We seem to have 2 bags of most things this time. It seems interesting, but we have more balloon mollies. I think we got balloon mollies last week, or was it the week before? I get confused about what week we're even in, but we have more balloon mollies, lovely little fish. I think there's balloon sailfins, normal balloons. So a molly is a live bearing fish, again from Mexico. So they go from full fresh to full salt. They like the pH above 7, so anything from 7 to 8, and temperature-wise, anything from 20 degrees to like 28 degrees Celsius, and they will be fine. So as long as you don't keep them too acidic, they will be quite happy. They give live birth like your platties and your swordtails do, and guppies and stuff like that. But these are the balloon, stunted, round, weird version. I know, they're just round, and they stay a lot smaller than a normal molly, so these will max out about that 10 cent piece sort of body size with fins attached to that. So picture a coin with fins attached to it. That's what these are. No, they're not, but they're the same sort of shape, kind of. But anyway, lots of awesome little balloon mollies back in. We only got one of these just to see what it's like. I am not taking it home, but how nice is that? That is a long fin Nemo Oscar. Oh, look at the pattern on you. Why do you call that a Nemo? I don't know, it's sort of a red cool pattern Oscar. But look at the tail. Okay, so Oscars, South American fish, don't keep them with nippy fish, because if you keep a long-finned Oscar with anything nippy, it's just going to have absolutely ratty fins to it. But that is a very cool looking fish. Just the one available. I can possibly get more in. They're not terribly cheap, but it is a really nice looking fish, and it's sort of a decent size to start with. Oscars are going to get about 30-40 centimeters. They will eat most smaller fish. They are from South America, so obviously this is a captive bred, long fin, really cool albino Nemo-y version. Yeah, it's got a lot of genetics happening there, but if you want a personal pet fish, you want about 200 liters just for one, so around about a 4-foot tank or bigger. Very pretty looking fish. Just the one, so contact me on social media or message down below and I can tell you if we've still got it. It may still be here for ages, who even knows, but how nice is that? Something a little bit different. We haven't seen longfin Oscars for ages. Yeah, and as I said, yep, South American, so pH-wise, anything from 6 to 7, and temperature 26, 28. Can't go wrong with Oscars because they're cool and they'll interact with you. A nice, weird Oscar. Jumping to another temperate Asian fish, we have zebra danios. So these are a pretty awesome little fish. They're going to survive anything from 5 degrees to 30 degrees, temperature-wise and pH-wise, anything from 6 to about 7.5. These are the long fin, cool stripy version, so you can keep them unheated, keep them tropical. They're going to swim in the middle, the top, the bottom of the tank, always on the go, and being the long fin version, they just like fins and stripes. So really pretty, nice, cheap, awesome fish that are hard to kill. What else could you want? So zebra danios, might be a few other different varieties. I'm not too sure if we got them this week, but we do have a few different varieties in stock as well. So you want some hardy fish, go for the zebra danios. Not going to eat plants, not going to really eat any other fish, but a nice group of them looks awesome in a nice community or unheated tank. Because I said we wouldn't run out last week, we ran out last week, so we've got more this week. Otocinclus catfish, again, South American little sucker fish. They stay small, they are tropical. You want your water slightly acidic for these, so 6.5 to 7, temperature-wise 22 to 28 degrees Celsius. Keep a group of 3 or more. They eat biofilm, which is the slimy stuff on things like leaves and driftwood and stuff, and they also eat algae. So they are a cool little algae-eating dwarf catfish. Max out about that 4 to 5 centimeters at the most. Very peaceful, very cool. A little bit delicate, so you have to make sure that they don't have bigger fish to outcompete them, so that when you put the food in, they don't just sit there and go, where's our food? And the other fish just eat all the food. So you can feed them leaf litter and stuff like that. Like I'm currently growing up a fair few of them at home. We just add extra sort of organic leaves. Organic leaves? There's no inorganic leaf, is there? Probably is, I don't know. We just pop in leaves for them to eat the biofilm that grows on them and little algae wafers, and they do really, really well. Lots of otocinclus back in. Haven't had these for a little while either. So these are normal paradise fish, another temperate fish, so they're going to survive 10 degrees to 30 degrees. Now these are like a cold water betta fish, so they breathe through the surface. Very hardy fish. So if you've got like a 20 or 30 litre tank, you don't want to filter for it, you don't want a heater, these are going to survive. Really pretty fish too, so they have lots of different blues and sort of pinks and reds on them. They're going to max out around that 10-12 centimetre sort of size, so you want at least 20 to 30 litres for one. Very lovely fish. Don't mix them with things like goldfish because they can harass them and nip the eyes off them, but they are generally a nice, very hardy cold water to temperate fish. Yay, normal paradise fish, finally back in. I think we've still got some super red ones down there. I think we're sold out of albinos, but there's a lot of different variations with the cool paradise. But normal ones for a change. Yay. And we have more gouramis from Southeast Asia. These are a little bit smaller than the honey. These are licorice gouramis, called a licorice gourami not because they taste like licorice, they apparently just taste like fish. Who would have guessed? But because they have little stripes on them that look like licorice stripes or straps or whatever. They're really stretching. They could have probably just called them striped gourami, but they are a lovely, peaceful little fish. You'll get like a really nice iridescent blue and green to them, and they stay super small, so 4 to 5 centimeters at the max. Lovely, peaceful, slightly acidic, so 6 to 7 sort of thing. Temperature-wise, 26, 28 degrees, and yeah, they will be quite happy. They like sort of lots of cover, so lots of driftwood, lots of plants, not big open areas, and you'll go well with them if you want a cool little nano fish. We're still going. There are lots of fish this week, it seems. Oh, we have panda corydoras, and they're a decent size. And they're perky and they're happy. So these are one of sort of the medium-sized corydoras, more on the smaller size, I suppose you could say. Don't get as big as your normal albinos and bronze corys and peppers and stuff like that, but they are bigger than your pygmy corys and that. So these are going to max out around about that sort of 4.5 centimeters, but a nice, hardy, peaceful little catfish from South America. Keep your pH again 6.5 to 7, and temperature-wise anything from 22 to 26 degrees. They will go fine. Schoolings, you want to keep a group of them. And again, called a panda because they're black and white, and the only things in the world that are black and white are pandas, apparently. One day we're going to rename all these fish. We'll just have a video of me renaming every single fish, I think. But panda corydoras, keep a group, so keep 5 or 6 or more, and they look absolutely lovely. Don't eat algae, they just rummage around the bottom and eat uneaten food and worms and stuff like that. Just a nice, super peaceful little fish. We haven't had these for a couple of weeks as well, and when we did, they sold out so quickly. So more swordtails, so same idea as the red cap swordtails, but these are the blue-black ones, and there were some really pretty blue and green speckles on them, as you can see. Really nice fish. Again, a temperate fish, so you can keep them subtropical to tropical. pH-wise, 7 to 7.5. They like the water alkaline. Very hardy, and again, the males will grow a really nice sword where the females don't, which is why they're called swordtails and not half swordtails. Maybe we should call them half swordtails because only half of them, well, the males, grow the sword. What's in a name anyway? But that was them, and I think the last couple of bags, oh, more blue rams, but haven't had these for a little while. These are green neon tetras. They are a different species than your neon tetras. Again, they get a little bit bigger than a neon, but not as big as a cardinal. And they have less red in their sort of belly, tail area, because these have a white belly, sort of a reddish sort of tail, but they have a bluey green stripe as opposed to your blue neon stripe. So again, a different looking fish, but they are not a green version of a neon tetra. They are a green neon tetra, which is a different fish altogether. Very peaceful, tropical again, so 22 degrees to 26, and pH-wise 6.5 to 7, and they will be lovely, and they look lovely as well. Really nice little fish. That was this week's unboxing. If you've got any questions, comment down below. If you are a member, don't forget to use your members discount code when you come in. That's important, otherwise you don't get your discount code. And thank you very much to all my members that are on screen now. If you want to become a member, click the little thingy in the description-y thing and you can become a member. You get extra videos and a discount code on everything in paulsaquariums.com and Paul's Aquariums, the store, which is where I am right now. Anyway, thanks heaps for watching. We will see you in the next video.
Hey Siri, play farting sounds. Hey Alexia, play farting sounds.